What is going on YouTube? Hit it back making another brand new crypto TV episode. In today's video, we are going to be looking at XRP, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, as well as the S&P 500. Specifically in today's episode, I want to cover some really in-depth technical analysis in regards to the market. As you saw yesterday's video, we saw a massive drop in the price of most cryptocurrencies as a lot of them were leaning towards overbought, as we explained in yesterday's episode. And we've been talking about this the past couple of days, the possibility of a small short to the downside. We've also obviously been talking about opportunities to see markets explode to the upside, granted the amount of FOMO that we've seen in the markets, but everything was so overvalued it would have been just overnight or just an hour or a blink of an eye we would see a correction, which is exactly what has happened. Now, what's interesting is we've managed to hit some pretty incredible supports in this correction to the downside, so I want to figure out how much lower we plan on going, or whether or not this is an opportunity to buy in for a potential swing to the upside. Otherwise, if any of that sounds interesting, definitely make sure to watch the video to the end. Smash the like button as that does help support the channel. Make sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss out on anything. And lastly, check out my Twitter at CryptoVOfficial. This way, you guys, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can DM me over there. Otherwise, let's jump right into today's episode. Alright guys, as you can see, we are on my current channel, so there's definitely a few things we have to cover, a few things we have to talk about. Obviously, we've been extremely bullish on the channel. It just goes without saying. We've definitely been extremely bullish. As we've seen within the past couple of days, the markets have just been pumping higher and higher and higher and higher. Obviously, we've been talking about the opportunities of buying into a bullish market, but we've also been talking about the massive concern of what could be FOMO buying in. A lot of people right now are currently buying in with little reason or knowledge for the potential of a correction to the downside. A lot of people are considering the fact that, oh, even though the markets are literally extremely overbought on all indicators, that $40,000 is an okay price to jump into. We currently fell to a little over $3,300, which is about a $7,000 drop on the coin. In total, probably a little closer to $8,000, which is a huge and extreme drop in literally just a matter of hours. So really, we do have to discuss the possibilities of where this coin is going to, how much lower or how much higher we plan on seeing this, as well as discussing what opportunities have been developed. Now, obviously, the past couple of days on the channel, we've obviously talked about bullish opportunities in the market, and honestly, they've been holding through fairly well. You can see literally just a couple of days ago, we can go back just this week from the 5th, every day has been opportunities of just bull market, bull market, bull market. Just about 2 or 3 days ago, we did actually discuss the opportunity of what could be a potential short to the downside, as we saw Bitcoin consolidate sideways, usually indicating what could be a big volume injection into the market. Either it was to the downside or the upside. Now, obviously, we're going to talk about the opportunities of a bull market. Granted that when FOMO is taking over the market, there's really no indicators that we can, stress or look at or reference, due to the fact that not only is this FOMO buying in, but you also have to consider these are prices in all-time highs. We've never seen Bitcoin at $40,000 or $41,000 ever before. So there's really no opportunity to see potential swings to the upside. Now, with that knowledge, every single time we talk about investing, we have to consider opportunities to short the market, opportunities for the market to drop. We've discussed multiple times the opportunity we've seen in most of these cryptocurrencies as they were flashing signs of what could be a reversal. They've actually been showing this for quite some time now. In the past, right here we had back on the 7th, the 8th, even the 9th, we're showing signs of potential, correction to the downside. Only yesterday did it finally, or 2 days ago, did it finally pull the trigger and reverse. But the markets were there, the signs were there. It's just the fact that we saw, we were extremely overbought on the relative strength indicator, extremely extended on the MACD. Every sign showed for correction, but granted, FOMO can easily swing us up to the downside. So every video we talked about potential warning to see correction to the downside, buying opportunities closer to 1200 on Ethereum, similar topics on XRP and Bitcoin. And that really was, a fail-safe scenario. If the market did decide to drop, we would trigger, short orders and we would be able to correct. We've talked about this even on my Patreon if you guys have joined. So honestly, enough of my rant. I do just want to go into the technical analysis, figure out what exactly is going on. You can see right now, top 10 cryptos, things are pretty much recovering right now. Still, what's interesting is out of all the cryptocurrencies, the one that I feel was least affected was honestly XRP. Out of all the coins, if you go by the 24-hour or and the 7-day, you can see that really the one that's, really shining or standing out is XRP, which is still up 20% in regards to the massive drop we've seen. And that's what's interesting. Granted, XRP has seen a drop in the past. We did just see a massive correction. The coin is really just kind of chilling right now. It's consolidating out. It really wasn't affected as bad as we've seen in the past. Granted, we did show signs of a double top, which ultimately corrected the price to the downside. I don't think XRP is headed much lower, and I think that's good news to most that are listening. Now that I have time to really discuss and go in depth with most of these cryptocurrencies, XRP really, after the massive correction we saw to the downside, doesn't show, weakness to correct lower as some of the other cryptocurrencies are. And I want to talk about that in a second. Yes, we did see a small drop to the downside. It did pull us down to bottom moving averages closer to the 10-day, but we were clearly held up. Coins did not want to drop lower than that. We bottomed off here in the past below this at, we got withheld by certain supports on the 5-day moving average. But right now, the 10-day moving average is holding us up, and I don't really think we're going to be heading much lower than that. Granted, all-time lows for 2020 were back down to 18 cents. I don't think we're going to fall much lower. Granted, we have to consider the fact that 23 cents is still an opportunity and there are supports before then. We have to consider that we're probably going to swing around and chill probably between 29 cents, 30 cents, and 25 cents. So I think I'm going to be taking the next couple of hours, if not day or two, to just see how consolidation plays itself out. If we consolidate up, I do think we're slowly going to retest 36 cents in the very near future. This is a small setback, but I don't think it's going to affect the overall price of XRP. I still think that XRP is still fairly undervalued, and we will be seeing prices rise very soon. So I do consider it on a discount. Am I investing right now? No. I would like to see how we react with this moving average before I throw my money into the markets. Even if we see it pull down to 25 or 23 cents, it may be an opportunity to buy in then for a potential swing to the upside. Now let's talk about these other cryptocurrencies, these other shorts that have, fulfilled on most of the market. Even though yesterday was a bad day in regards to people considering prices up at very high, levels, most people really don't know the opportunities that we have here on the channel, which is shorting the market. Most people really have no idea even what shorting is. I've made videos discussing it in the past, but BitYard allows us to capitalize off of short opportunities. Most people don't understand how much value this adds to a trader in cryptocurrency. The fact is, yesterday, even though we saw this massive drop in price and I caught it in a little bit late to the market, I was still able to make easily over $700 in just a couple of hours shorting the market and getting out. It's literally that quick. Creating a stop loss, shorting the market, even with this drop, was still fairly profitable on most of the cryptocurrencies. So that's why I recommend BitYard to definitely make these trades. We've had over 500 or 600 people already check out this website, and I've gotten some great feedback as well. So I definitely recommend checking it out, as I did link them in the description. They offer tons of cryptocurrencies to trade around with, as well as different, I believe it's spot trading, different coins. Yeah, no, it's not spot trading. Maybe it is, derivatives trading right here, which allows you to trade gold, silver, mini Dow, NASDAQ, just a bunch of different opportunities for trading. And that's something to take advantage of. So I did link them in the description down below. Definitely make sure to check them out if you are interested in learning how to profit even in a bear market. And this is going to be a huge tool when we do see what could be a 50, 60, or 80% drop within the market, which could be upcoming in the very near future. So right now, moving on to these other cryptocurrencies, what's interesting to me is it was very overlooked, but it makes total sense. And hopefully this makes sense to you guys as I explain it. So look at Ethereum right now. Ethereum got so overextended from its uptrend. Not only was it so overstretched, it really faded away from its moving average as well. So when we did see this correction back down to the 4-hour, we literally fell back down to support. We fell right back down, retested the moving averages, retested support. We didn't fall much lower. So honestly, if I was to put a bottom on Ethereum, it would probably be closer to 956. I don't think we're out of the water yet. I do think that we are going to be seeing some more correction to the downside. But I think what's actually happening is we're priming ourselves for what could be a bigger run. Now consider this, because I do think this is extremely important. Yes, we did see a fall. We did see a massive pullback to the downside, but look at where we fell to. We're still creating higher lows, and this is still a huge opportunity to capitalize off runs. So consider that we do have a clear top. We do have a clear resistance at 1360 on Ethereum, and this will apply to the other cryptocurrencies, but there's still some sort of ascending triangle forming. We didn't break below previous lows on the coin, which still opens the fact that there's still huge opportunity to be investing in this coin, granted that we could be headed up higher. So I do think in the near future, we still will be retesting 1350, if not 1400, as long as we don't break our prior low. So the low we just had was back down to 900. The low before that was at 700, and the low before that was 6, and then eventually 500. So we are still setting higher lows, even though we did see a big drop yesterday. It's just opening up bigger opportunity for this coin to head up higher and higher and higher. So I think the next drop we do have will be to a higher level than the previous one, and it's still opening up huge opportunity for a bigger run in the near future, or a big drop in the near future for that matter, but we'll be prepared for that next one when it does come. The same thing applies itself with Bitcoin as well. We can extend this up a little further. We can still see that even though we saw this massive tumble to the downside, it didn't set us lower than our previous low of 27,686. 686. We're still above our moving average on the 4-hour. It still holds potential. And granted, now we're retesting here. This seems like the surefire sign of where we did come to retest. Now, I just want to, swing ourselves out to the daily so you guys get what I'm saying. You can see how where there's still some sort of ascending triangle forming. It still is setting higher lows. So it's not it's not a crazy correction where, oh my God, the market's dropping. There is still big potential for a correction to the upside. Granted, let's see how the market plays out, especially with this MACD potentially seeing a bearish cross to the downside. But until we break through our prior low, or until we break through this uptrend here, I don't think we're in a bad place at all. So let's see how today and tomorrow form. And there's still support at 33,000. If we break through 33,000, expect to see a big tumble to what could be 21,900. But for right now, the fact that we're hanging out above support, this might be an opportunity within Bitcoin that tomorrow and the following day, we see movements back up to the upside and back up to $40,000. It could happen very quickly. So that's a huge opportunity and a huge possibility for making money in the very near future. See the uptrend, see how higher lows are still being set, and see how we did seem to kind of bottom off at this current price right now. So we'll see how today's candle closes. We close below resistance, or we close below support, we're going to see a short to the downside. Close above support, good chance we're going to see a run back up to $40,000 in the very near future. Same thing applies itself with Litecoin. Actually, Litecoin is kind of out of the woodworks. I don't think this coin is going to be viable for that pattern that formed. Litecoin actually got the worst hit. It fell below its 4-hour moving average, and it fell below its prior low. So I do think this is going to see a big tumble very soon, and I wouldn't recommend investing in Litecoin. But as for Bitcoin, it looks great. Ethereum looks great, and even XRP looks great in my opinion and in my eyes. There's still some sort of uptrend that formed. Maybe this is liable. It's a little bit harder to draw out, but you can see what it is that I'm referring to. Just like this, boom. You can clearly see the uptrend that's forming. So we've now come into the fact that we've found a new ascending triangle. We found a new technical analysis pattern that we can now use to base the following movements to the upside. So anticipate future higher lows to be set, and anticipate prices to eventually retest 36 cents and the prior high as before. XRP's doing it, Ethereum's doing it, and Bitcoin's doing it, so it's huge potential for the upside. As for the S&P 500, I mean, this was anticipated to see a small short to the downside. This was anticipated to see that there was a top resistance. There's some sort of ascending fractal forming with a clear top. So to see the small correction we're having now isn't really unlikely. And we can honestly pull all the way back down to this bottom support before we see higher highs. But I do think that is in the near future. Otherwise, guys, that's pretty much going to wrap up today's video. Definitely make sure to check out BitYard, as I did link them in the description down below. Make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.